Howdy folks, today we're going to be taking a look at BB-68 Jetstream, and coinciding with this character's name, it's a brand new, just released figure that made it from Beijing to my doorstep in the Midwest in 10 days. This was not express freight. Sometimes 5-2 Toys AliExpress store manages to ship lightning fast, so I guess I just got lucky. This one is a situation where 5-2 Toys releases figures out of order of the character designation number. They've definitely done that before. As an example, I just reviewed BB-71 Gale, so we're rolling backwards by a few numbers. My best guess is they probably work on all of the production assets of a given figure while it's still being developed, including packaging, artwork, marketing materials, and all that stuff. Those materials may already be produced and ready to go, even if a figure isn't quite ready for manufacturing. Maybe they had to make some adjustments to the design or whatever, and it just simply causes a delay. So then they have to release whichever figure is ready for retail, even if it's a little out of order. Anyway, that's just my guess. 5-2 Toys is definitely leaning into development of all new 4cm figures. For a very long time, Dio, the very first Beastbox, was the only 4cm figure in the line, and just within the past couple of years they've added 4 new figures to this size and price point. Something that I've only just realized is this is also apparently the standard package design for 4cm figures going forward. So just to show what I mean, here I've got the Goldfish and Axolotl boxes handy. I don't have Dummy's box handy, but between that one and Jetstream, cellophane wraparound windows are also part of the package design. Both also have clever little gimmicks, which on the whole I think is a great deal at that $20 price point. As far as this review goes, we're going to take a look at package details, contents, we'll take a look at figure details, I'll do a transformation demo, and then I'll close it out with a box trade. So let's jump right in. The box has great artwork. Something to note is 5-2 Toys is apparently moving away from their traditional number pill and character designation display font, and just going with a simpler sans serif font. It's not quite as quirky or individualistic as what they've been doing for a long time, but overall the graphic design is clean and I think it looks good. Apparently, collector cards included in the box is going to be an ongoing thing. More details about this little guy: he has a little radio backpack and a filler insert. Around the back we got some more details and product design by X2R. They're probably responsible for more Beastbox figure designs than any other team. More quirky details, and here's the gimmick for this figure. Apparently it's got some wheels, and as I understand, it's able to waddle when you roll it across the table. I have my trusty Red Devil, and we're going to pop the top on this. As usual, there's a miniature backer insert on the inside of the box. We have the figure itself and its filler insert, instructions, catalog, and the new style character card. And of course collector cards. I want to take a look at these. I got a Toxic Horn. I think I already have one of these. I've got a MoMA, a Nightcrawler. I actually had this figure, but I gave it away as a Christmas present. Another Delta and a Sigma following up. So it looks like I've got a lot of repeats. Oh well, can't win them all. The character card has pretty nice artwork, even if it's pretty plain compared to collector cards. Nothing too exciting on this. It's unfortunately not as colorful, fun, or as interesting as the old character cards with the bios, which I do kind of miss. We'll get into Jetstream, but first I'll show this filler insert for those who don't know what this is. Basically, it lets you put a 4cm figure inside of a standard 5cm box charger. It's just an accordion style hinge. You just open it up, then you can flip down the backer plate if you want. The figure will fit in either way. And it fits neatly inside of a box charger. Jetstream is a neat little figure, obviously much more detailed and sophisticated than the original IceQube penguins. More on that in a little bit. He does actually have a moving head. You got a little mouth, and that little beak will open up and close. It's a tiny part, not especially easy to open up. I found it easiest to get leverage if you apply pressure with your fingernails on both sides, and then you can push it open. And it kind of looks like this little guy has teeth. Jetstream has little slits for eyes, some paint applications along the throat, chest, the ear tufts, and of course the beak. You've also got the Aviation Beast faction symbol in silver. The feet have a nice range of motion, as do the wings. So again, quite a bit more range of motion than the original IceQube figures. The backpack has a cute articulated antenna. And yeah, some interesting details all over this figure. On the backside underneath the tail, here's a wheel and it says slide on it. These wheels were obviously designed with counterpoint oblong shapes to allow this penguin to waddle. So let's see how that works. This is pretty clever. It's such a simple gimmick, but it works so well. I mean, 5-2 Toys, if you're listening, by all means, this is the thing you do best. It's great that they're able to produce really complex figures with action figure gimmicks, but it's always just these simple little gimmicks that make a character so delightful and amusing. So more of this, please. This is so funny, I love it. Alright, we'll do a quick comparison with the original Penguin set IceQube. These were released, 6 or 7 years ago, and have proven to be a very popular set of figures. IceQube is a one-of-a-kind character design and transformation. Obviously, its design is a lot more primitive than Jetstream, but it goes to show that simple is not bad. People love this kind of stuff. So here you have 4 little penguins that form rectangles that merge together to form a cube, which is held together by pegs and magnets. Simple shapes also mean simple articulation, and their wings can only go up and down. Their head and neck are a simple hinge, and the effect is kind of like a trash can lid. They do also have an eye expression gimmick. No beak articulation, the head can tilt left and right a bit, but nothing near what you can do with Jetstream, of course. I should point out that Jetstream's head can't tilt up quite as far as it possibly should, but you can still emulate a bit of a head-forward look with a sliding motion on its belly. Let's move these guys aside for a transformation demo. First thing you want to do is lift up this back plate. That just comes up and out like that. You're basically just getting that peg off the back post. Then you want to pull this whole backpack assembly up and out, so you've got this arm sticking straight out. Then we're going to pull these chest pieces out and also sideways. And this chest piece is going to fold out and down. This arm piece is going to be resting on top of the lower part of the torso. The wings are going to need to fold straight down against the body and then back in at about that position. Now these little peg and post connectors are going to need to fold out. You'll have to get your finger in there to pull these pieces up. Now we'll grab a hold of the white part of the midsection and extend them out from this hinge. With this piece all the way out, here's a peg and post connection. This part of the fin is going to connect to that post, so we're just going to rotate that around and connect them together. The tail piece needs to rotate 180 degrees, so you're just going to rotate that around just like so. Mine came turned upside down outside of the box, but one way or the other, you're just going to need to make sure you rotate it 180 degrees so the word slide will always be facing on the backside, and it fits neatly inside of that cavity. One thing you want to make sure you do is have Jetstream's feet fairly flat at the bottom since they're partly forming one side of the cube. The lower part of the torso is on a rail. You can see where the mechanics are of this thing, and that gives you a hint of what the next step is. You're going to push that piece up, and you'll hear a little click when it slides into position, just like that. Now the entire assembly of the head, neck, and backpack are going to fold down into that cavity. I don't know if you can see it, but the beak actually rests neatly inside of that groove. As far as the backpack assembly, it's on this arm, and it's going to fold down into that space. It folds down like so, and it'll sit directly on top of the back of the neck. The back plate will fold down directly on top of the slide wheel. At this point, to a large degree, it's really just a matter of compacting everything into place. Again, the feet need to be flat against the bottom side. The antenna will rotate back 180 degrees. You've got a peg and post connection on the sides of the head and the inside of the torso. And we'll just give it a quick once over to make sure everything's connected and compacted up correctly. So it's an unusual box design. Jetstream is a very detailed, articulate little figure that can roughly form a cube shape, but I'm coming to find is there are a lot of problems with the more modern 4cm figures box modes. As with the koala dummy, this barely registers as the shape of a cube. You got a lot of janky points poking out of the sides here, and it really has only 2 flat sides. This back plate piece doesn't attach to anything, and it can kind of flop around. What's unfortunate is it does have a tab in there, but there's nothing for it to latch onto. Then you have these odd thin plastic strips that sit in front of the lower chest piece. But it does fit neatly inside of its filler insert. And it looks like you get a little penguin inside of an IceQube. Anyway, yeah, it's not a very good box design, but Jetstream still has so much going for it with its little critter mode. Now it's time to give this Waddling penguin bot a box grade. This is my rating system of 6 categories with up to 5 points each for a total score of anything between 0 to 30 points. Jetstream has tons of character. It's super charming. It's a really amusing little toy. My reviews are obviously edited for time, but I did legitimately record myself making this little guy waddle on my countertop for 15 minutes. What a great figure. 5 out of 5. Between Dummy and Jetstream, 5.2 Toys is really shining with this figure size and format. I love the waddle gimmick, the sculpting, little character flourishes like this radio backpack. The very well designed packaging and more really makes this little dude have a lot going for it. 5 out of 5. The biggest downside of Jetstream is it suffers from the same box mode shortcoming and the fact that it barely even resembles a cube. 5.2 Toys is bringing their A game when it comes to 4cm figure designs, but again, they're sacrificing the cube form to get there. I do wish they'd found a way to connect the back plate to lock it in more securely. 1 out of 5. Articulation is almost everything you'd hope for. The wings have a correct range of motion, the feet and legs can be positioned nicely, the head can turn and it can barely tilt up, although I really don't think it's really missing anything for how you might want to pose it. 4 out of 5. Its plastic joints and paint applications are fine by me. No complaints to speak of. 5T Toys has gotten so good at their engineering and materials that you don't even notice how high quality their figure designs are unless of course they have manufacturing flaws. Jetstream has none to speak of, at least as far as I can tell. 4 out of 5. Again, what a charming and amusing figure. I love 5T Toys' sense of humor and just the sheer amount of character that comes out of their designs. As far as I'm concerned, if they can get a grown man to pull one of their toys out of a package and actually play with it, they succeeded. Aside from the box mode, this is 5T Toys at their very best. 5 out of 5. And that brings the box grade total to 24 out of 30. That's a wrap on my review of the all-new 4cm Penguin Jetstream. It really is figures like this that, in my opinion, is 5T Toys doing what they do best. It's a cute little figure, it's quirky, and man, that little waddling gimmick really makes me laugh. I hope to see a lot more like this in the future. 5T Toys, thank you for doing what you do. And thank you for watching this video. If you could spare a moment to leave a like, drop a comment, or even help out my channel by sharing it with a friend, I'll appreciate it. Also, if you like this type of content, be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified when I put out a new video. I'm working on a lot more Beastbox content, including the second lap of the AMTS Racing Rev-olution featuring Gazelle, a computer game themed machine cube review, and soon to come, a review of an actual machine cube. So be on the lookout for that. All of that is coming in addition to a new collection that I'm introducing to my channel, Star Wars Black Series. I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one.